Hello, I just wanted to do, I don't know, I was working on this and I got bored, so I wanted to do a video. Basically, just kind of a setup for if you guys wanted to make your own playmat. Back up a little bit, show you guys how I do it. Basically, start off with the blank white mat, and you take colored pencils. A little tip, it works nicer to use watercolor pencils because then when you put water on it, the color will fade and you don't have to worry about it popping through. But because I cannot find mine, I'm using regular old pencils. It's really, really light, as you can tell. It's pretty easy. You do the quick sketch. I was given the image for this. Just someone sent it to me, said, hey, I want this on a mat. It's actually kind of a funny request. So I didn't have to do any planning, but if you guys were going to do your own, I would highly suggest sketching it out on a piece of paper first and make sure that it's the right ratio to how big the thing is, because you don't want to sketch it for a picture and then find out you're missing like 2-3 inches of what the picture's supposed to be. So after you get your sketch down, you can start painting. I always start with a wash for the background, which is why this looks so kind of not smooth. It's because it's literally acrylic paint washed down to like nothing with water. And I take big brush, that's 2 inches, and you just start applying. And it takes a long time, and like this has been on here for about 30 minutes, and see if I touch it, it's completely wet. So the first step I always do is I do the background like that, and then I leave it till it's completely dry to the touch. Then I take white and I go over where the areas are supposed to be, like right here. It's actually Amon from Legend of Korra. He's bloodbending a bunch of treeborn frogs. So I'll finish this black, and then where the shapes are going to go, I do blocking it with white, so it's just a giant white blob in the basic shape. Like this moon got a little messed up, so I'll make it a better circle. And then after that, you just work on it all the way up. I already started with this mat, but maybe the next mat I do, I'll do kind of a time lapse so you can just see me working on it all the way through. But yeah, that's just a little tip. Make sure you have plenty of brushes. I'm cheap, so these are like crappy little brushes. Actually, I've never touched this one. But any brush will do. The only thing you have to remember is that these mats are super absorbent, so it's going to take a lot of paint. So layer it on thin. Other than that, it's just basically practice, practice, practice. Yeah, that's basically how to get started on a playmat. Any other helpful hints? I would say if you're on a budget, only get the basic colors. When I first started, I got these 3 colors and then a tube of white and a tube of black. If you're starting off and you're on a budget, that's the best. Get those and get brushes that are cheap. And I would suggest a brush like this. I believe it's called a Bright. Yeah, it's got a flat edge, super helpful for doing really precise things. This one's pretty nice to start off with your wash, just a nice big flathead brush. Of course, your typical brush. This one's called a round. So I would suggest a Bright, a round, and then smaller brushes for whatever you're most comfortable with working. Some people like using a tiny round to do details. I actually like doing a tiny Bright because I just like having that flat edge. So if you're on a budget, I would do that. The cheapest I've found playmats for is $8 in a store. But my local store does this thing where it wraps rubber bands around the middle. If you get a mat like that, I suggest you take it home, you unwrap it, and you let it flatten, because I don't know if you see it, but right there, that's a dent from the rubber band that I cannot get out because I didn't let it flatten. So, yeah, those are little helpful hints. Be sure you have a surface that you're okay to go over on. This is just one of those oversized drawing boards. I used to, some of them come with these little clips. Don't do that because then you'll indent the mat and you'll just damage it, and the mat has a rubber surface anyway, so it won't slide. Other than that, that's just how to get started. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below, and I will be happy to answer any of them. I've been doing these mats for over a year now, and this is probably the maybe 10th one I've done. So if you need any advice for starting your own, just leave a comment. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tomorrow I should have a video up of some new box openings. I think I have a set 6 coming in the mail. So we'll have a box opening of that, and then I'll try to get some duels from, or games, whatever you want to call them, from my local shop. But yeah, good luck.